listening to Flush Your Fat for Good with Jackie and Dr. Vicky, only on LA Talk Radio.
Wow. It's already January what?
Something, and here we are again.
Honest to God, 22nd, I think. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us. My name is Jackie Paget Baird.
And I'm Dr. Vicky Arcady.
And we are Flush Your Fat for Good to be lean and healthy for life. This is not a diet. When you go to our website, you'll see what it's all about. This is a lifestyle for a lifetime. And most people in the beginning of the year, like January 1, they talk about they're going to have their New Year's resolution. And we have talked many years about get ready for your New Year's resolution. We actually started New Year's resolutions in October because when we started our trials, remember, we did two trials for 12 weeks each.
Over 4 years ago.
Yeah, approximately we had up to about 25 people.
Yeah.
Tested them every day on our Lifestyle for a Lifetime, our Flush Your Fat for Good program. And we chose October for their New Year's resolution because they were desperate to want to lose weight. And we determined that if you're that desperate, you must be that committed. If you're that committed, let's see how well you do through Halloween. One of my favorite.
You have to get a picture and put that up.
I know.
Of your witch outfit.
I was a good witch. And I was, sometimes I was a good witch. Sometimes I was really a bad witch. Sitting behind a door.
We were her paid actors.
And I gave my kids shovels and put like little tunics over them and had them drag it along the sidewalk. Anyway, I love Halloween. And the greatest thing waiting for the kids to come to see the good witch was Butterfingers and
Snickers?
No, Almond Joys.
Almond Joys.
And what's the other one?
Mounts?
No, the mint. The New York patties.
Yeah, the patties, peppermint patties.
Anyways, so I would bide my time, and then when they'd come to the door, I'd give them the garbage.
And she'd get caught red-handed with her hand in the pot and go, oh.
These are the moments in time that we remember that the next day and for the weeks after, you're just obnoxiously sick.
Yeah.
And anyway, Halloween was our first trial, and we proved to these people that if you're truly committed, we want to take you through this trial group. And they didn't have cravings. They didn't care about the candy. They didn't care about what the food was at the parties. They still had fun. We coached them through it week by week, and any questions that they had, we were able to coach them through it. They got through it in 12 weeks, losing substantial inches because it's not about pounds, it's about inches. And they felt amazing. Their CBCs, their lab values were greatly improved.
That was the most important, is their health dramatically improved. And I remember one woman said that she didn't lose not a pound, but she went down like 3 sizes.
Right.
Or 2 sizes, something
That's
like that.
what blows everybody's mind because
fat doesn't weigh any weight.
Right. Your muscle weighs more than your fat.
Yeah.
But our rule when you go on our Lifestyle is you can step on the scale that first day and throw that damn thing out.
Yeah.
Because it's a liar.
It's a liar.
Right.
Liar.
It's not going to measure your bone, your water, your fat, your muscles, and all this stuff together.
The only thing that'll do that is a DEXA scan, which you go into this, it looks like a CAT scan tube or MRI tube, and it takes your bone, muscle, and fat and gives you the whole body scan. But, not everybody does that because it costs money, and, a lot of people don't think it's necessary. But that's really the only way to find out.
We do have scaleaholics.
Yes, we do.
And so we limit them to at least once a week. Because they're completely addicted to it, thinking it's going to tell them stuff. But it will tell you that you're losing something. Out of all diets, you lose about 50% fat, 50% bone and muscle. With Flush Your Fat for Good, you maintain your lean muscle mass. Many have increased their bone density, and it's the body fat we want you to get rid of. Not only the subcutaneous fat, which is on the edges of your body, but your visceral fat, which is inside, wrapped around your organs and in your intestinal tract. So that was our first trial, and we saw amazing results to the point where we asked another group of people, if you're that committed and you want to change your life, because it is a lifestyle for a lifetime. This is not a diet, and you truly are sick and tired of being sick and tired and fat, then we're going to take you through the other holidays. So that one started in, well, we did October, November, December, but then we started January, and we went through the springtime. And they all did amazing. Same thing.
Pretty much had success.
Yeah.
Everybody had success.
Well, you can see a lot of them on our website that has the before and afters, and you'll read their stories.
Fleshyourfatforgood.com.
Right. Remember the 4 in there.
Yeah.
And so, you know, we were always promoting do your New Year's resolution like now, you know, and it doesn't matter what time of year it is. If, you know, the life of a red blood cell is every 4 months. You turn over your DNA, or the DNA regenerates 2 months, skin is 27 days, your brain regenerates in a year.
I don't think people know this information.
No.
They just think, I think most people out there just think, okay, you have your brain and it's going to last you till you die. Your heart will be the way it's going to be unless you do something to damage it until you die.
Right.
But everything has ebb and flow. Everything, you know, depending on what you do, your cells cleanse, repair, and what else? Rejuvenate, repair, whatever.
Yeah.
And they also destroy. They
Right.
will also do apoptosis, which is self-destruction. But you can dictate your health by changing your diet. You can change, like you said, you know, the lifespan of, what did you say?
Your red blood cells or
your brain. What did you say about
it's a year.
It's a
It's a
year
whole
for your
year.
brain. So if you eat well for a whole year, it stands to reason that your brain's going to be healthier after a year.
Right. And then especially when we've worked with a lot of addicts, drug addicts, we have to get them to that first year, and then it's essential that we get them to the second year, because even though they're going to have a whole new brain regenerated in 1 year, it's really, there's still a lot that they have to develop.
Pathways and things.
Right.
The pathways change.
To have a better brain,
Yeah.
if they finally got themselves sober. Actually, food addicts are like
Same
that
with
too.
food, because you're a sugar addict.
Right.
The same kind of parallel.
Which is a drug. Sugar is.
Yeah.
I was talking to a psychologist the other day, and he was threatening diabetes. They actually said he was a diabetic, and he was trying to figure out, what can I do before they put me on the meds. And he goes, oh, maybe I should stop sugar.
Duh.
So anyway,
Hello.
we were talking about this, and I said, yeah. I go, but you shouldn't be drinking those diet sugar drinks. You know, that's even worse. But he told me, he says, sugar's really dangerous. And I said, yeah, it's talked about in my book. And he's reviewing it.
He's reviewing the book.
Shout out to Mario. And but anyway, sugar is a drug, and it's like cocaine.
And you're an addict. If you're a sugar addict, you're a sugar addict. You're no different than an addict.
And emotionally, if you have food eating problems, then you know, you're creating some issues all around. So anyway, we did our second trial group with amazing results, and we didn't start everybody January 1st. We didn't wait. Okay, kill yourself the whole year, and January 1st, let's try to get you to get healthy and lean, right? It's really when you decide you're no longer going to torture yourself, struggle, have cravings, be hungry all the time if you diet, and then if not, then you gorge yourself. You get into all different kinds of issues. Flush Your Fat for Good works on digestion, absorption, and elimination, because the whole lifestyle plan is developed around digestion, absorption, and elimination. And When you can digest properly, that means then you're going to absorb the nutrients properly to go through into your bloodstream to build, repair, and maintain the integrity of your bone, your blood, your tissues, your organs, your hormones,
Everything.
right?
Cells too.
People don't realize you need the proper nutrients to regulate your hormones.
Yes.
So when we decided to get people to do the trial, it was for our own benefit to see, do we really have what we think we have? And the answer was yes. And then at that point, we spent a whole year
And the other thing is,
writing
would
this
people be compliant? Because we have the
Right.
entire blueprint in here. We have step by step. There's no questions. If it's not in this book, you don't really do it. Okay? But we wanted to see if, as a practicing physician, I wanted to know, are these people going to be compliant? And they were.
Right.
It was amazing to me.
they're
3 of these a day, people were compliant. I mean, it was amazing.
They're compliant because they're feeling better within 72
You could
hours.
start getting a result
Right.
immediately.
They're not craving. They can't believe that they could walk into a bakery and care less. They're sleeping deeper. They're thinking sharper. Their digestion is much better. Some up to 3 to 4 bowel movements a day when they haven't had them in maybe every other day.
Yeah,
which is
pretty
not
much
good, by the
everybody.
way. Yeah.
Everybody had digestive problems.
Yeah.
Pretty much. The
And,
majority of the people, not
yeah.
everybody, but
Well, look
majority.
at all the things that are going on television commercials. Everybody is, they've got tacos slapping people.
Nexium, you know, all.
You know, this guy eats a taco. So
That's funny.
and horrible commercials, but they're saying take this pill and then you can eat all this garbage.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, right. Of course, they don't know what's happening inside because they're
Not good.
destroying your digestive
Oh.
enzymes.
It's not good.
So the subject right now for Did You Know That, which I didn't know because I talked to Dr. Vicki and I said, it's January. It's still January. People want to make
Happy
a
New
commitment.
Year.
Yeah, and you want to get ready for the spring and then the summer. Life comes at you fast, you know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden you think, oh my God, the weather's getting hotter. I need to fit into that bathing suit. So right about now, we're going to do Dr. Vicki's segment, Did You Know That? And what is your subject?
How to get started and do New Year's resolutions, are they worth it?
But is it a good time to start your New Year's resolution January 2nd?
Well, people, we all know what people, what their New Year's resolutions are. They're to lose weight, get to the gym, and make more money, whatever it is, exercise. It's always going to be something like that. But there have actually been research done on New Year's resolutions and studies and articles. Many articles are written about it because is it really appropriate to make a New Year's resolution to lose weight, to go on a dramatically strict, calorie restricted starvation diet in January?
Any time for me.
Is it really good for you? And January, for as we know, January, it's winter. Okay,
Right.
Number one. If you start something in January, it could be futile because the weather's bad. It's ice, snow, freezing, rain. Right now on the East Coast, it's like minus double digits.
Whew.
The snow is so bad over there. I think I saw on TV they had to cancel almost 4,000 flights yesterday.
Really?
From the freezing, it's dark early. People have a persistent feeling of kind of like their energy is low. It may not be depression, but it could be some gloom because it's a known fact. When it gets dark early, you tend to, you're not as excited as you would normally be, or
You're kind of
it's kinda
hibernating.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You go into some people even in apathy. They go into apathy and gloom.
Mm-hmm.
So dieting could even be worse to add that on top of it. And the food choices that you have when you start a weight loss program is mostly, they're going to tell you to eat vegetables and fruit, and they're going to tell you to eat more of those things. But there's some people in this world, in this country, in the world, that they don't get available fruits and vegetables in the winter. A lot of people have to can. We have buddies in Canada, and they have to can their fruits and vegetables because they don't have access to it.
Yeah,
they're up in Canada, and they can't get to those foods. So
some places back east too.
So a lot of recipes promise to decrease your calorie intake, which we don't do calories on this, and you just can't. It's hard to do when you don't have the foods accessible. Not to mention, how do you exercise? If it's like, I think they got 4 feet of snow yesterday or something. How do you can go out and shovel snow, but you can't do a relaxing exercise, and it's hard to walk, or we recommend walking. It's hard to do. You can do a treadmill. There are ways to do it.
It's hard to be consistent, but
there are ways to do it. But it's not conducive, and you want to you want to compromise. You're feeling badly. You're feeling unhealthy. You're over fat. You want to do something about it. So what we recommend is that you compromise. You go and you investigate. You do your homework in January. Get the book. We have 8 pillars to our Flush Your Fat for Good lifestyle, okay? You compromise. You just start. And we have one of our coaches she's an RN, and she says, you just start. You don't have to have it all. You don't have to have all the groceries. You don't have to have everything. So you can just start. Like, get rid of the cookies. Get rid of the cakes in your house. Get rid of the sugar. Get rid of everything. Get rid of the alcohol.
Yeah.
Don't do the alcohol.
I call it go on a rampage. Just go through the cupboards and go, that's it. I've had this, and that.
Just get serious and start to prepare yourself to really jump in full-fledged. But in the meanwhile, you can go through our book and learn about food combining. You can learn about how you get yourself in nutritional ketosis, which the Eskimos get into nutritional ketosis because they don't do the sugars, and they don't do the crackers and the pastas and the starches. They don't do those things. But, you can do things about, like, as far as exercise, you can do something. You can, do something in your living room every day. You can do 5 minutes of something. I found in our Facebook room, Flush Your Fat for Good Facebook, private Facebook room, I posted a 7-minute workout. Mm-hmm. That's supposed to be tremendous, that people can do in their living rooms.
And you can watch on the video, right?
We have an indoor reference to exercises you can do in your home if you can't get out at all. Right. But you want to start. If you start and look up like the food combining, you start with what you have, and you start to food combining, meal to meal. You start in the morning with your fruit, and you just start. And if you mess up, you can plan that you will mess up. You can just put it in your future, because this is a learning curve, and no one's going to be there to beat you up. This is a lifestyle, so you have to learn. But to say, I'm starting New Year's Day and I'm going to do all of this stuff, it's just too much pressure, number one. It's not realistic, and you're not going to help yourself emotionally.
It puts more stress on you, so then you just forget it.
Plus the aftermath of the holidays. We all need a vacation from the holidays.
Right.
Even though we have time off. So I always recommend, give yourself a year to lose the weight, even if it's 30 pounds. Give yourself a year so that you can practice every meal to meal, and go through our pillars and see that you can just get it done. And don't be hard on yourself. Now, I also wanted to talk about some of the stats. The statistics say that 80% of the people that make a New Year's resolution to lose weight don't make it to February. 80%.
That's brutal.
And that was from a study. The 10% of the people managed to keep them for more than a few months.
See,
That's it.
That
It's
just gives you
worthless.
bad self-esteem right there.
Although those that do make New Year's resolutions in their mind have a tendency to reach their goals. So we don't have to call it a January 1 New Year's resolution.
No.
You can have the resolution that the year of 2019 you're going to be healthier, you're going to get the fat off, you're going to be more fit, and you're going to be of better company and better presentation for your family, and you're going to be present for your family. Now, some of the things I also wanted to talk to you about is, if you're a smoker, you got to quit smoking.
Right.
I mean, that's just a given. You can't smoke. That's it. If you're going to get healthy, you can't smoke.
No.
It's not going to work.
No.
And the other thing is, there's some tips here on how to be successful when you want to do a fat loss, life's program or a lifestyle. You have to be realistic. So that's why I say give it a year.
Even though you'll get 30 off a lot faster
And
than
don't
that.
say, oh, in a year I'm going to lose 200 pounds.
Right, that's not realistic.
It's not realistic,
No.
and you're setting yourself up for failure. It's not going to work. Do one thing at a time. That's why I say, get the book, start to read it. There's a lot of information in here. You will learn so much about nutrition that you'll be an expert. You'll know more than your medical doctor. Sorry, docs, but they're going to know more.
That's true.
They're going to know. They're going to
Yeah.
know You're going to know clinical nutrition. Do one thing at a time. Get the book. Give up the alcohol. Give up the smoking. You could just in your mind say, I'm going to eat more healthy. Let me just start with the fruit in the morning. I'm going to just do fruit in the morning like Flesh or Fat for Good recommends. Let's just start there. And then you wait 20 minutes, and then you go into your latte or whatever. Just start is what I'm saying. Be smart is another recommendation. Cut down on, don't gorge yourself. If you do have a lapse, they call it a lapse. I like that word.
Mm-hmm.
If you do have a lapse, don't have 5 pieces of pizza. Just have one. Make it moderate in your mind. Just make it moderate. Don't, or minimal. Don't go hog wild. You know what I'm saying? If you decide to have a drink and you lapse, just have one drink. That's it. Or half of a drink. Right? You don't need the whole thing. Next thing is very interesting. Tell someone your resolution, or
That's rough.
tell someone. Well, that's why we have the Facebook private room.
Right.
Because we ask, when you ask to join, request to join, we add you to the room and we ask you to introduce yourself.
Right. What are your goals? What do you want?
Or just say, I'm
Or
here.
just say, I'm here.
I'm going to embark on this and I want to get healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? That's going to increase your chances of doing better. And it'll help to have people in there watching over you. The next thing is change your behavior with others. Try to change your habits on your own. Could be
That's
difficult.
a big one right there.
For instance, if you and your partner, your spouse, your sister, your roommate both smoke, drink, and eat unhealthy, it is hard for one to change and not the other.
Right.
Especially a spouse or a boyfriend, girlfriend.
That's difficult.
Yeah, so you want to try to get them to do it with you. So you just say, I want to do this. Will you do this for 2 months with me? For 8 weeks. Let's just start by giving up the alcohol.
That's what we call the Flesh or Fat for Good buddies.
That's the buddy
Everybody
system.
becomes buddies.
Okay, now, by having the same resolution, such as going on a fat loss program or try to get healthier, your success will improve. Here's a research study. Excuse me. Weight loss with friends. When you have a weight loss with friends, I'm going to have a coughing jag any minute now. sorry, 95% complete the course.
Okay, when you pair up?
Yes.
Okay, so when you pair up, it's 95% complete.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, why? Why? You can cough all you want. Go ahead.
Right. Okay. There, I'm back.
Okay.
That's why we have the buddy system. It's social support. And 66% of those who buddy up with their friends or buddy up with buddies or in our Facebook room or you get yourself a coach. Listen to this. The maintenance of the loss of weight, 66% have success.
Wait, say that again? Cough in between that. Drink your Cran Flush.
Those that have friends that start a lifestyle or weight loss program or fat loss program together,
Yeah.
66% of those have success with maintenance.
Oh, okay. That's
The
good.
loss and maintenance.
Right.
And don't limit yourself is the last thing. Accept the lapses as part of your process, but stay the course, trust the process, and get rid of the bad stuff. And you should do fine.
Right. Now, this is why we do have our book available, but when you go to our website, fleshyourfatforgood.com, you'll see on our website we have several levels. We have a basic level that's free. We have the gold level, and we have the VIP level. When you're really committed and you want to just charge this thing down, you need support. You need to have something that's going to be there for you at all times. So on our website, we have created 23 videos for you guys to watch, to learn, to understand our pillars, to understand how this program got developed, and also to see us making foods that we call staples, the FYF for Good staples, because we want you to have specific food. Some people, they
learn visually.
Right, but
too.
it's not just that. When many people are like, God, I don't know what I'm going to eat tonight. God, I'm starving. God, I'm on this diet, and if you just know certain meals that you can make all the time, like Jackie's chicken salad, Jackie's turkey soup, Jackie's egg veggie muffins, the 3-egg omelet,
Brussels sprouts.
Jackie's crispy garlic Brussels sprouts.
Oh, yum.
The bomb. The goat yogurt and nuts, and how to soak the nuts. All of these things should be available in your refrigerator or to be able to go into Tupperware with you at all times.
Right.
So when you become a VIP member, you later on, once you see everything, you learn everything, you can go down to the gold member and be able to rent some of those films from time to time. But also, what we have is Starter Kit 1 and Starter Kit 2. And you will see this in our storefront. Now, the reason why we're talking about this at this time, because a lot of you guys failed at your New Year's resolution, and you really still know that, you don't have control. You don't know what to do. Should I buy that prepackaged food stuff? Should I starve? Oh, I think I'm going to go on 3-day fasting, and then you're so hungry you just binge. So in the storefront, click on that, and you will see different things. You will see our Starter Kit 1 and Starter Kit 2. And in Starter Kit 1, you're going to see the workbook that Dr. Vicki and I wrote. And this is, I want to say blow by blow, but it's step by step of how to go about starting your day, what to eat, when to eat it, how to cook it. And some of the recipes are in here, but also it explains to you our pillars and why you should be doing this. This book is the Bible. This is 60 combined years of Dr. Vicki and my experience, clinical experience, and tons of studies and validation, especially with our trial groups that we did. And this book explains a lot of the reasoning behind it. This is a workbook. This just tells you what to do. And I know
Good
with
for the
our
kitchen. It's good to keep in the kitchen.
yeah, we call it like the kitchen Bible.
Yes.
Our co-writer Kathleen Powell and her sister, Coach Jennifer now Powell. You'll read about them in our book. That they both lost 100 pounds each, and it was interesting because when Coach Jennifer started this program, she had never been able to lose weight properly and for a long time, and she had been obese since, I guess, teenage life.
Yeah.
And when she started this, she was amazed at most everybody says this, your fat's just melting off you. And I believe she had already lost 30 pounds. And she called her sister Kathleen, and she started to tell her, and she goes, don't tell me why, don't tell me how this works, don't tell me all the science behind it, just tell me what to do, tell me what to buy, when to do it, and that's it. Because I don't want to know why anymore. I'm sick and tired of knowing this works that way. So anyway.
She had tried them all.
All of them. And we have people that have been, because everybody yo-yos. Oh yeah, I did that, then I lost this, and then I gained back, then I lost this, then I gained it back. But we had a workbook available for Jennifer to follow through. So that's what Jennifer told Kathleen, and voila, it started working. And because Kathleen was so fascinated with all of this, she helped us to put this book together with our content to we tried.
She's coordinated everything, thank goodness.
Yeah, just picture a girl with a whip. And anyway,
don't emphasize
she's
that, please.
She's passionate about it because it changed her life. And you'll read about it in the book as to what happened to her. You know, if you can read that without tears, you know, good.
Yeah.
But you'll read about Dr. Vicky's life and what she experienced with her mother that was severely obese. And you'll read about how this whole lifestyle came to me because...
That's a good subject for a podcast.
Yeah, it was not your usual kind of putting something together to see if it works kind of thing. So the starter kit number 1 has the workbook. I think this is the easiest way to get started.
Yeah.
Has the workbook. It has charts that are fabulous because then you can put these charts
around in the kitchen.
Well, I like this one. This is the food combining chart, and if there's any question, it's really fabulous. And it tells you foods that are compatible with other foods and foods that aren't compatible with other foods. Because we don't want you to get gas and bloating, constipated. We don't want you to feel, nauseous. And people that don't food combine, that's what happens to them all the time.
And by the way, we did a whole podcast on food combining with her twin sisters, Vice Williams Crosby, who combined together. We encompassed a total of over 100 years of food combining.
Serious information.
Serious.
And she's a vegan, so if you guys are vegan,
so watch
trust
that
me.
podcast.
And we talk about that in our book. Because if you're vegans, you guys have the worst time of trying to lose weight because you do way too much starch. So we help you to learn how to do this and really benefit.
Yeah.
Another thing is, this is really cool. So cool, it jumped out of my hands. It's a grocery shopping list. You don't know how cool this is.
Look at both sides.
Yeah.
And you just check it off, put it on your fridge.
And
go shopping.
The foods that are in blue are the ones that are part of Jackie's Chicken Salad, and it's really cool. But you just go shopping. You put this on your refrigerator with a magnet, and then you keep looking until you run out some. So anyway, you have this. You also have a chart that is a day at a glance for phase 1.
That's
because
very
our
handy.
Lifestyle is phase 1 and phase 2. And this is really handy because if
Very
you just
handy.
follow this, you're going to succeed. Then we have, because you have to eat low glycemic fruits and vegetables, so we have a whole chart of the glycemic fruits and vegetables that you're safe with, and you can do no wrong. Then we have GLA, gamma-linolenic acid, and CLA, conjugated linoleic acid. These are essential fatty acids. these are really powerhouse tools to help your body to start burning the fat. The CLA actually prevents the enlargement of your fat cells. It helps the fat cells to break up and to establish lean muscle mass. There's a whole bunch of other stuff that CLA does.
That's a good way to start too. Just get on those two right there, and don't go off them.
No, and the GLA, it stimulates the brown fat to burn the white fat. The brown fat is what makes you shiver, and we're born with that. Oddly enough, obese people don't have very much brown fat. This is great for your skin. Everybody that takes the GLA, and we designed this is our label here, because we wanted to make sure we had the proper amount, the top quality.
Milligrams too. It had to be the proper milligrams.
And
convenience.
But it had to be top quality.
Yeah.
It couldn't just be, low quality. It had to be high standards, cold press, that kind of thing. But it also makes your skin glow, and it affects your serotonin in the brain. It's got a calming effect. Very, very helpful what GLA can do in many, many ways. So we're very proud of these two products because we spent a long time trying to find suppliers, and we gave them a litany of, okay, it has to be this, and that quality. Yeah. Can you give it to us? And then we wanted the certain amount of milligrams that would be effective for losing fat. So on Starter Kit 1, we have all of this, and then you become a VIP member. The VIP membership is very cool because that allows you to have access to all the recipes, all the videos, even these podcasts. It allows you to
past calls.
Yeah, all of the calls. We have over 100 audio calls, support calls, that have been edited for you to learn about them, and we have them all titled with bylines so that you can, just listening to one or two of the support calls
can really help you.
It can just trigger you for that week and really say, okay, I'm going to do this. Starter Kit number 2 doesn't have the GLA CLA. Okay? So the Starter Kit number 2 will give you all of the workbook, and it'll give you all the charts, but you don't have the GLA and CLA. And if you're really committed, you want to get the GLA CLA for sure. In the book, both books, it discusses the other supplements that we want you to participate in. And we describe them generically so that we tell you about the quality of them. We tell you, why they are effective for fat loss and how they support your entire body and all your systems. And then it's going to be your job to go find those companies that can offer that to you, okay?
Based on our recommendations.
Right, and you'll have it in the workbook, and you'll have it in the paperback book. Paperback book's available on Amazon right now.
Correct, Amazon.com, and you can just type in Flush Your Fat.
For good.
And
it's right
there. And it'll be right there. It's also in Kindle.
Right. So now I want to discuss with you, we do this podcast every Tuesday, and we like to make it informative. We want to make sure that we leave you guys with an increase. We always have the Did You Know That segment with Dr. Vicki, and the girls crazy on research.
Most of the time we have it.
What?
I think once we didn't.
Okay, wow.
But that's okay. We had guests, I think. And that was.
Okay. But it's been a pretty.
I'm not upset about it.
Yeah. It's a staple for us now because I like it, okay? Because every time she shows up with something, I'm like, wow, I didn't know that.
This is what I did in my office. Did you know that?
Yeah.
And every time a patient would leave, I would go, did you know that this condition, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
And then if you take this, it'll help this, and blah, blah, blah.
See, I had a reason to do that because they could handle the calls that way that I didn't have to take. They knew what to recommend because I was telling them what to do.
Yeah, we just parroted her. But so we have the podcast.
That's what we want to do for you.
Yeah, we're not your gurus.
That's why we wrote the book.
We want to be your guides.
We want you to learn what we know so that you can pass it on to your children, pass it on to your family, pass it on to generations, because It's the healthiest way to go. And believe me, you do not want to be in the hospital.
No.
You do not want to be mixed up with the medical doctors if you don't have to. Let your food be your medicine be your food.
Who said that?
I know, do you?
Yeah, Hippocrates.
Yeah, you know that guy.
Yeah.
He was known as the very first doctor.
I had lunch with him last week. All right, so now on Wednesday we have a Power 100 call.
Did he have his little cloth on?
Let me explain this. The Power 100 are our buddies that have 100+ pounds to lose. Now we know it's not about pounds, but at that point that's all they know because many of them can't measure themselves. And we have several people up past 500 pounds. And the majority of them lose 100 pounds, maybe a little over, a year with us. And many times they run into certain issues. They might plateau a little, or they might have some health conditions because they are that heavy.
Yeah.
That we put special attention to them. They have many times in our book as well. We talk about creating a paradigm shift, where you really have to change the way you think, and we like to be there for them and help them to understand how they got there, why they're there, and now this is it. They're changing. Some of our people have tried 24 programs, and it's always led them back to being obese.
Right.
And this is Flush Your Fat for good, okay? For the good of all, for the good of your health, and for good riddance.
Be lean and healthy for
life, okay, until you take your last breath. And so we have, once you join with us, then you get informed of our Wednesday call regarding the Power 100 heroes, we call them, because they're actually giving life a second chance.
And, they've morphed into beyond the Power 100 because we want to encourage everybody to be aware and sympathize with these people because, as you know from our previous podcasts, once you reach a certain point and you have insulin resistance, there's nothing you can do.
Right.
Your weight is just going to keep
Piling
on. And we learned last week that if you binge after the holidays or during the holidays, you can put on, the studies show that you can put on 11 pounds in a year. So together with insulin resistance, problems with digestion, like many times we just look at each other and go, that person, they're doomed. It's never going to stop. They're going to end up in bed.
And a lot of our Power 100 buddies wound up taking our coaching course because they know that they're going to be with us for a long time, and they do want to spend the time. Many of them are bedbound, and they do want to spend the time to learn about this because knowledge is power. And we have a coaching course that Dr. Vicki and I put together. It's 7 modules. And we have a test after each one, and at the very end then you get certified. And this is knowledge that you cannot go anywhere to get in one place, period.
And it's going to help you with your success long term. The more you know, and the more you know why what you're doing, you're going to succeed because you're going to know why.
Right, to know how
is to know why. You're going to be educated. So it's a really nice course to take. You're gonna, if you are intrigued by what we're doing and you're having success, and you want to know more and you want to know why, then you can take the coaching.
And you
course.
have up to 3 months to do it, to take the course.
Yeah.
So you'll see that in the storefront as well on our website, flushyourfatforgood.com. The book, we want to just tell you quickly with our book. We're very excited. This was published and released January 11th.
It's not in bookstores yet, but it is available on Amazon.
Yeah.
So tell your friends.
It's on our website as well, but Amazon is, for many, very, very easy. And
remember, 95% chance of success if you do this with your friends.
We have some great endorsers, and we're very excited about our endorsements because Bob Proctor is very special to us. He's a master success coach. He was the teacher in The Secret. We have, when you get the book, you're going to look at some of the people that endorsed for us.
Incredible people.
I mean, amazing people. And these are high intelligent, healthy people that really take their health seriously. So we're very proud of this book. This took us a long time to accomplish.
And we're calling it our Bible, our reference book. So it's something, if you question something and about, why, you can grab this book and look it up, and you can find out why. Because we explain pretty much everything that we do in here.
All the way to your bowels, okay?
Oh, yeah, poop.
And then last but not least, we want to thank you guys so much for supporting my son Tucker, who had a severe accident January 1st. It was New Year's Eve, and somebody had lit a fireworks that malfunctioned, and he was like 12 feet away, and it didn't go off. And
he didn't even participate.
No, he was just standing
just watching
there.
the guy lighting the
he
fire.
was on his cell phone, and he was typing to everybody Happy New Year's.
I think it was one of those that shot up in the air.
It did, but it malfunctioned and it came into his face. And we have a GoFundMe site set up called Fireworks Harmed Tucker Blue Paget, and blue is spelled B-L-E-U. It's the French version. And we're just so grateful for the prayers that we got from you guys, which
he still needs them, believe me.
Yeah.
It's a long road.
It's a long road. He's just learning to walk straight right now. We had to have the surgery. They tried to save his eye.
Yeah.
And we, at the very, 2 weeks later, they had to give us the word that they had to remove his eye. And everybody was heart-sickened over it and broken. But, with all the prayers, and we know that Tucker is just beginning to realize that, it's all about attitude. And he's grateful to have his right eye.
And he's grateful.
And he's been getting calls from amazing people. One is Chip Townsend, who's unbelievable master karate.
Taekwondo, or what is he?
He's kickboxing. He breaks all these.
Is he karate?
God, I don't know.
I can't. He's one of the martial arts.
He's a world champion.
Yeah, he's like.
I didn't know it. He had one. He didn't have one.
I had no idea. We've known him for what, 20 years?
Yeah. So
I had no idea.
He was kind enough to call Tucker and talk with him.
Thank
and
you,
other
Chip.
people. Yeah. And you can look him up, you guys. He's an inspiration. He works with kids.
He's
and
in
things
Texas.
Like
he has studios in Texas.
Yeah, Max, called Max something.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's so we're all working with Tucker, trying to get him back on his feet and back into life. And because of you guys' prayers and your donations, it's just made it possible for him to see that even life is going to be okay for him.
He doesn't know what he's going to be doing for livelihood. Because everything he was doing is probably going to be very difficult.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. But thank you for the prayers, because that will help, and your donations. He will need those.
So we want to thank you for joining us today. And please, we hope to see you join us and get into the Flush Your Fat for Good Buddies Facebook page. And until next week, God bless and goodbye.
And get the book, Amazon.com. To get your friends to do it too. Thank you. Good night. Okay.
You're listening to Flush Your Fat for Good with Jackie and Dr. Vicky, only on LA Talk Radio.